everyone, welcome to my second screencast. I will be talking about the most recent projects in this screencast, and I want to focus on the visual concept one first. I've encountered several issues with this concept specifically because of the execution of the message. I think if I would have done something differently, I probably would have picked an easier thing to portray or an easier concept than popularity, because it does have many perceptions. Popularity could be a good thing or a bad thing, and I decided to kind of go with the negative aspect of these really popular quote-unquote girls in high school using bullying kind of to become popular. And so with the first time I did it, I went for a really stereotypical idea of popularity with really stereotypical nerds, as you can see here, and halos. And then Professor Sarapur addressed the message issue with me and talked about how this really isn't the message that I want to convey, which is completely and utterly true. And so I definitely changed the stereotypical nerds into pretty pretty decent looking people. I think they're relatively attractive because that is kind of more accurate in terms of how that happens in schools. There aren't really stereotypical nerds as in the previous picture, um, walking all over campus. Like, there aren't, there might be a few, but this is definitely a more truer sense to the term popularity. And I decided to take off the halos because I asked people what they thought of it was, and you don't necessarily need the halos to portray that sense. It could be way much more simpler, and I decided to have that. I decided to take off the halos. But definitely one thing that I wish I could have done differently with this project is picking an easier abstract concept, because I definitely wanted... I didn't think that I would struggle this much with this concept. I thought it'd be a little bit easier, but it was definitely harder to execute this abstract concept because it does have those different perceptions. All right, moving on to the next project. And so this one, I really had issues with this project as well, because I didn't really know what kind of school aspect I wanted to go for. And since I had this school theme going throughout all of my images, and I was looking up school songs, and I thought, oh, School's Out for the Summer by Alice Cooper would be an excellent thing to portray here. And then we have, cliche apple, as you can see here in this image as well. That apples are kind of cliche for, I guess, teachers, and like, again, adding to the school theme. But I got a lot of feedback with it being kind of busy and then not having an outline for this image, and I totally agreed with that. And so what I'm going to do differently is I found a much more emptier classroom. As you can see here, the background is much more transparent. I try to make this transparent, and you get a sense that it's less busy. And so when I put on my word cloud, my Apple word cloud, you get a sense that school really is out, and it doesn't look as busy as it does in the previous picture. What I'm going to plan to do is try to make these really, because I want to make sure that the word cloud and the picture aren't too similar. I'm going to definitely make pencils, like words like pencils and books, smaller, and definitely emphasize the out, schools out words, because I want that to be kind of I want it to be known, essentially, in my image. And then lastly, the letter drawing, I also had issues with, because I thought it looked very kiddish. And of course, it's kind of hard to do an entire drawing with just letters. And so I was looking at other people's drawings and saw that they used kind of like a background and then added letters to that drawing to make, or combined the letter drawing with like already a photo, which I might end up doing as well. Because I'm not really excited about this image, but I'm still working on it. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to my screencast.